Hello again, YouTube. This is going to be a rare day where you get a double upload because today, this is the planned video for today. The other one wasn't exactly planned. It's already up, the Mercuria video, where it may have not gotten its errata. It may have. Go check it out, find out. Anyways, today I have winners and losers of the ban list. This is a video that I'm just going to go over some decks that I think really won on this list that really I think they either like completely dodged it and I think are going to end up better because of that, or they actually got bumped up on the list. So I think the clear and obvious winner, I think there's no question, the clear and obvious winner is Dyno. Dyno not only did it completely dodge the list, it didn't even have cards like VFD, which it uses, get hit, but it also saw other cards around it fall. This is a deck that I think a lot of people were speculating was going to get hit and then didn't. And then it also gains cards like Harpy's Feather Duster. This deck is a deck that very easily can go second in OTK with cards like Ultimate Conductor. Wrong way. Ultimate Conductor Tyranno right there on your screen. And this is a card that obviously can win games like that because it's a really strong attacker. And OTKs for Dinos are pretty easy. And well, with a Harpy's Feather Duster, it makes it just that much better because now you don't have to deal with all the back row. I think Dyno is a deck to watch out for, and if you were considering playing Dyno before the ban list, I'd get it now. It's a good deck, and I think it's going to be a great deck going forward, possibly even a meta deck. Another deck that it's definitely flown under the radar from what I've seen from the reactions. A lot of people don't remember what this does. Gishki, though, this is the card that came back from 1 to 3 that I was panicking in my video because I couldn't quite remember what it did, but I remembered how stupid it was. I faced this deck a long time ago. I remember I had people saying that this was a 2012 deck, but this card has been on the list for a long time, limited to 1. Basically, when this card is ritual summoned, you can look at up to 2 random cards in your opponent's hand, shuffle one of them into the deck. So this is not a hard once per turn, so if you can summon this to the field multiple times, Gishki does also have recursion effects, so if you can link summon, for example, because why not? You know, Cross Sheep is now a card as well, so you can summon Manju. I don't know exactly how the deck plays, but you could summon Manju, get your ritual search for either this card or they have their own inarchetype ritual spell that I know they use that allows them to actually add ritual monsters from the graveyard back to their hand. So if you could actually summon Goose Kraken and go Goose Kraken, Goose Kraken, Goose Kraken, and loop it over and over, this is going to be a hand loop deck that I think Konami was wrong in bringing back off the list. However, I do think since it is here, if you do like ritual decks, I would give this a look. This is going to be a strong deck in my opinion. I don't know how well it's going to do in the format because obviously it's an older deck. We don't know, but I personally am scared of what this could potentially do, especially with links now. Links weren't a thing when this was looping, and now they exist and you could freely get your monsters off the board to recycle them. That seems pretty good, like not gonna lie. One deck that completely dodged the ban list is Invoked. And while I'm at it, I'm going to put them right up there with Shadal. And that's because a lot of decks were playing like Invoke Shadal or Blank Shadal or Blank Invoked, you know. They were engines for a lot of other decks. And I include Shadal in this as well because we look back to when the live events were happening before this whole Crush card happened. And Invoke Shadal was actually one of the strongest decks of the time before we didn't have events. And so to see them not get a hit all this time, it's a little surprising. I don't necessarily think they're one of the decks that absolutely needs a hit, but it's also a little surprising with the Shadal variant being with the Dogmatica, the App Cologne being sent to search the Schism, being able to tutor out Construct or Window for free, essentially. I've seen that played a lot, and I do know that this, well, I shouldn't have phrased that quite like that, but like that is a very good play, and it's a little surprising to see them not check it, but I mean, I do understand as well, but again, these are the winners, and they're on here for a reason. I think Invoked and I think Shadal both clear winners on this list. Another one that's a clear winner for me, Burning Abyss. Burning Abyss, you got a Seer back, you got a Graph back, you got Bardish now too. Go nuts. Bardish happens to be the other reason why Orcust is on this list. I put Orcust right at the bottom of this list because, yes, Bardish helps, but they still don't have Harpor. I think that's what they really need to come back. I do like Orcust as a winner for this ban list, but I'm still not sure how much it's actually helped by Bardish. We'll see how the format shapes out, though. Now, going on to the losers section, the first and obvious answer is Adamancipator. Block Dragon being banned obviously destroys a lot of their resource game. That's not to say this deck isn't going to be able to function and still do needle fiber combos and still do rock combos and other shenanigans that the deck does. I think it'll be fine to play that way. You're just not going to be able to make some of the same insane boards. I would still be interested to see what this deck can do without Block Dragon, and I don't think it's necessarily a dead deck. But it obviously took a pretty big blow with Block Dragon, and right beside it is Megalith. Megalith is one of those decks that not everybody's really had like their eye right on it. Like it's kind of flown under the radar. I know Lundreity, I think is his name, was playing this deck in a lot of the Zodiac tournaments with MCOL 40, and he was winning with this. And it got my attention enough that I actually started the group for Megalith, and I've tested this out myself. It's a pretty good deck, but Block Dragon definitely helped that deck, and that's a pretty big blow to that deck as well. I don't know if it's as playable without Block Dragon, honestly, but it's still a deck that still can be played without Block Dragon, but it definitely took a hit. Obviously, every rock deck took a hit when Block Dragon got banned. Essentially, rock deck lost block. Oh, well, blockdragon.exe has stopped working. Yeah. So these next three are kind of they're kind of on the same pain here for one reason. I have Altergeist, Guru, and Frogs or Paleo or whatever type of deck you want to call that. And the main reason for that is Feather Duster. All of these three are Backroad decks. Feather Duster coming back as an obvious counter to that. I should also add Mystic Mine into this as well, but let's be real, I don't want to acknowledge that deck because we don't want to talk about that. But so these three were on this list because of Feather Duster. Obviously, another way to blow out Backroad decks is a bad thing for Backroad decks. So then, lastly, we have the Synchro decks. You have Halqifibrax. We lost the O-Lion. We lost the Jet. This isn't going to stop it. I've already seen people saying that you're going to use Halqifibrax to summon Deskbot 1. You're going to then link Deskbot 1 and Halqifibrax for Auroradon. And then you're going to get your 3 tokens, summon Deskbot 1 back, Synchro up, and I think they're doing Power Tool stuff now too, actually. I could be wrong on that. I do know the Infernoble players were already talking about Power Tool Dragon with this combo. I But I also know people are using that Auroradon then after you Synchro to go up into Mecha Phantom Beast Colt Wing. When Colt Wing is special summoned, you summon 2 tokens, which means you can then special your Deskbot 1 again since it's not once per turn, and this summons 2 tokens, which is a simultaneous summon for Deskbot 1 to trigger. So in theory, you're going to be able to summon Deskbot 1 more than once per turn. With this combo, you're actually going to be able to do it 3 times. The first time off Needle Fiber, the second time off its own effect when Auroradon is summoned, and the third time when Colt Wing is summoned by its own, and then summon it back again by its own effect. So, Synchro's not dead. I said it in my Banlist video. I don't think it's dead. People will find a way to replace the tuners, and people have already found a way. I'm sure there's even other ways as well. I've kind of explored that myself just to see what cards might be out there. There's some interesting thoughts to be had, but I think this is probably the way forward for Synchro. And obviously, you can see it's still going to be a very viable strategy with these 2 cards. And, it obviously lost its main combo. We're going to see where this combo ends up eventually. But it's not dead. It's not dead. And I knew it wasn't going to be dead. But those are my winners and losers for today. Obviously, if you like the video, like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitch up there, twitch.tv/magepower. And then, I haven't said it in a bit, so united we stand, in Mage Power we trust. Thank you for watching.